The universe, a huge illusory field. When objects in the material world are abiding as a continuum, the different molecules in an object are relatively stable in terms of arrangement, so the object looks relatively stable. The structure of the molecules is relatively stable, and the structure of the atoms that make up the molecules is also relatively stable. However, the protons and electrons inside the atoms are in high-speed motion. Although they are relatively stable, when observing from a more microscopic level, they are absolutely moving and changing. Ancient people believed that the material world was composed of the four elements of earth, water, fire, and wind. In fact, from the perspective of modern science, the so-called four elements are only the manifestations of the different states of matter. From a scientific perspective, matter has three states: solid, liquid, and gas. The so-called fire element is actually a phenomenon produced by the visible light waves released when objects undergo chemical reactions or physical interactions. As a result, you see fire. When things interact with the five sense faculties of the human body, eye faculty, ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, and body faculty, to generate the five consciousnesses, things are divided into five categories: visible forms, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures. If sunlight enters the eyes, it's a visible form. If sunlight shines on the skin, it's a texture. Our skin will feel the heat or the sense of touch, so it's called texture. When any food touches the tongue, it's a taste. But when it touches the skin, it's a texture. When the odour emitted by something touches the nose faculty, it's a smell. If it touches the eyes, it may become a texture. When some gases touch the eyes can feel it. In short, regarding the interaction between the five sense faculties and the five dusts, it's due to the impermanence of things that the arising of the five sense objects and five consciousnesses that becomes possible, and we can feel the momentary impermanence of things in the material world. Due to the collective karma of humanity, the environment on Earth is changing rapidly. As we all know, the greenhouse effect is becoming more and more severe. Earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, and volcanic eruptions are more frequent. Huge transformation in landform used to happen in human history and will surely happen again. By inference, the Earth, the galaxy, and even the billion-fold universe, all the material worlds, and all the galaxies are all momentary and impermanent. The universe is like a huge illusory field. From the perspective of the mind-only school, the world is an image of the eighth consciousness. The three realms are created by the mind only, and all phenomena are just the consciousness. Due to the momentary nature of all things, that is, the momentary nature of sentient beings' minds, the notion of time came into being. The first moment, the second moment, till countless moments. As we know, the world is created by the collective karma of all sentient beings. due to constant mental fabrication of sentient beings, all things in the world are also changing with the minds of sentient beings, moment by moment. In short, all things arise from the combination of causes and conditions. While the combination is changing, the continuum abides interruptedly, which is the continuity of similarities. When the causes and conditions disappear, the continuum eventually ceases. This impermanence that one doesn't abide in the second moment by nature, without depending on other factors, is seen by all enlightened beings. When the current moment is appearing, there will be no previous or next moments mixed in, but only the appearance of the current moment, and it arises and ceases in a moment. In this way, we can see the reality of conditioned things on conventional level, and the general characteristic of subtle impermanence. By observing in this way, the material world and even the billion-fold universe are all formed by earth, water, fire, wind, etc. Even solid things like Mount Sumeru and diamonds are all initially formed by the collective karma of sentient beings, like clouds in the sky, temporarily abiding as in continuum and ultimately cease due to the factors such as fire becoming nothing.